I'm Carrie.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Amanda.
And this is our our group exam.
So to kind of start off, we just thought that overall Trump and Clinton both had a very simple form of delivering their speeches throughout the debate. There wasn't any sentences that were too complex that not everybody could understand, and that also includes the language that they use. They were all very simple, and that can also be tied into the rubric rating that we gave them, because overall they scored very low, and we just kind of thought this was like a surprise, because as people who are running for such a big job should have somewhat of a larger score than maybe just the average person.
And then, so 3 other course concepts observed in these clips. We noticed that, like, selective perception could be a big role player here, where people only hear what they really want to hear. So, like, if Hillary says something that Trump supporters don't quite agree with, they aren't going to listen to her evidence and reasoning that she gives for, like, to support the points. And this also goes vice versa, of course. So, it's just really, like, it's not objective at that point, and that's what debates are supposed to be. It's supposed to be an objective look at each of your candidates to see, like, which one truly lines up with your thoughts. And then the second one is that communication exchange we talked about in class, the whole big picture, going around clockwise. The register, this is a formal debate, but they use really casual language. As Carrie said, they're using, like, not that complex of sentences and very little higher vocabulary. So from their rules and structure. So structure, Lester Holt asks a question, and then he gives about 2 minutes for each candidate to answer those specific questions. And a lot of times they both go over these 2 minutes, so the rules aren't, like, they're set in place, but they're not very followed. And then, of course, they're interrupting each other and bickering with each other, and it's not that very structured. Nonverbal communication, these are all the gestures that they give each other. So debates start off where they come in and they shake each other's hands as a gesture of respect. And then nonverbal communication sets in as they're debating. And we can see that both are really skeptical of each other. Clinton is always giving that smug look, like, you. And then Trump has the you're lying look, like the little side-eye thing. And so just the looks that they give each other communicate a whole different story. Like, they might shake hands and congratulate each other at the end, but regardless of that, we need to take account for the nonverbal. And then there's the verbal. So that's the words they're using, which none are by any means really professional words. This happens on the debate screen and off. So, like, I've noticed a lot on Twitter how name calling takes big effect into this debate, especially with the media now. And there's just a lot of name calling, and it's kind of childish and unprofessional. So it really reflects on the characters of each of those. And then for our final third course concepts observed, we have the mass communication. There's a lot of viewers around the U.S. and all over the world. Like, the world is watching us as we debate over, like, who should lead one of the biggest economic nations in the world. And so that's an example of mass communication.
All right, and then going into big ideas learned in this activity, and that relates so far throughout the class, is that communication cannot be reversed. So once these candidates have said something about an issue, this will be documented and can't be taken back, which is really important for the candidates to prepare and know what topics that are going to be discussed beforehand. Another idea that this activity we learned about and so far in this class is the concept of selective retention. So that is remembering things that reinforce our beliefs. And many people watching the debate will remember the good points their candidate of choice made and will remember perhaps how unprofessional or bad their opposing candidate was. And lastly, another big idea we learned so far is that of theory of mind, and this is understanding or trying to understand another's beliefs or perspectives that are different from our own. I think this usually lacks in debates because candidates want to only think of how great their ideas are and how less of the best the other candidates' ideas are. And I feel that if people, including the candidates, use theory of mind more, the world would probably be much more understanding and it would increase in effective communication.